So you're getting ready to be activated as a militia force, and you need to know exactly what it is you need to take with you. Hello, my name is Arthur, and I am the CEO and founder of Tackleberry Solutions. We teach wartime tactics to citizens for civil defense purposes, and today we're going to talk about the gear you're going to need during a militia call-out. So there's actually, you got to have kind of a timeline whenever you're doing a call-out. Most guys, and it's going to depend upon, and that's something you'll kind of figure out as you start working with this commander and they start doing rehearsals and things of that nature, what kind of gear you're actually going to need and when and how you're going to need it. But until then, it's on your commander and your non-commissioned officers to ensure that that information is disseminated down that, hey, prepare for a 3-day turnout, 14-day turnout, inevitability turnout, whatever. You're basically going to pack according to those things. So you're going to pack a 1 to 3 day bag, and then there, we'll talk about that in just a second. Then there is a 3 to 14 day bag, and then there is an indefinite turnout bag, or I should say bags. And that's pretty easy, so we'll start there. Indefinite turnout, every damn thing, literally everything. You're going to fill duffel bags with clothes. Do not forget, I mean, most guys, it's a mistake that the new guys always make. They go down range and all they brought was army crap. And you're like, where's your civilian stuff, man? Well, I didn't think we'd need it. You're going to wish you brought it. So you need to pack civvies in there. And you need to pack winter gear, summer gear, the whole 9 yards. And it's going to take, I think for us, for a single soldier to step off down range across the pond, we were carrying right at 4 bags altogether, an assault pack, a rucksack, and 2 duffels. Usually a duffel and then a hard tack box. So that was normal for a single soldier to have about 4 bags and or a tack box of equipment that we would send with us. So everything I'm getting ready to tell you is going to be included in that. It's just you're putting in more clothes and gear and crap to deal with boredom and books. Lots and lots and lots of books and various other things. Because honestly, guys, especially if you're sitting stationary and you're not progressing forward, what you're fighting 90% of the time is boredom, not the enemy. So you're going to need something to break up that monotony, and that would be a book or a video game or whatever it is that tickles your fancy. I mean, we literally know guys that shipped entire Xboxes all the way to Iraq and back again. So, all right, depending upon how exactly you guys are operating, your normal turnout gear is either going to be a 1 to 3 day or a 3 to 14 day. So 1 to 3, there's a lot of stuff you can just get right off the list right out of the gate. So what do I have in a 1 to 3 day bag? And mind you, just a small little assault pack I can put on my back at any point in time and pretty much keep it with me at all times. I have a camelback that's in there because, again, the modern day horse is a truck, and I just leave that pack in the truck, go do my raid, come back, I'm good, right? If I'm an infantry force, then I'm going to have to carry that pack on me at all times. But that's really not necessarily the modern warfare we're getting ready to walk ourselves into. You're definitely going to be fighting more like dragoons. So, but I want a water source. So I'm going to have a camelback in my backpack. I'm going to also have a poncho. Just because it's great for shelter, it's great for rainy days, like the day that's why I'm in a barn, because it's just pissing rain outside. It's good to cover you and your equipment and your gear. It's a solid all-around object to have in your pack. You're going to want some 550 cord, because if you have to make a hooch, you can. You're definitely going to want a Flex J. A flexible J-pole, and I've done an advertisement before on that. Why? Because if you get separated from your group and you can hoist that thing up, you just double the range of your handheld radio. And hey, if somebody else is doing the same thing, now you guys can communicate and link up together, at least you're not alone. I would probably want something to start a fire with, a flint stick, matches, something of that nature. I would put a little bag of lint in there to help me build a fire, because again, rainy yucky days like today, that's going to be a little difficult. So I'm also going to think about other little things like I might want a little bit of clothing. So maybe a set of bottoms, maybe another shirt, but definitely socks. If I don't put anything else in there, and I'm notorious about putting pants in there, it drives me crazy to be wet. But anyways, I don't really necessarily need an underwear, but socks, yes. Remember, I'm trying to keep this as small and light as humanly possible because I'm going to be carrying it on my back all the time. But batteries for all my optics and my nods and everything else is an absolute essential. Quite honestly, your battery should be in your admin pouch on your body armor, which of course you're going to have with you. Of course you're going to have your rifle. Of course you're going to have all your actual combat kit. I'm simply talking about the gear that you need to bring in excess. So when you structure your 1 to 3 day pack, you need to focus on the 4 things: water, food, shelter, and fire. Which leads me to my last item I would absolutely have in there, aside from like a really nice little hoodie, would be like a 72-hour emergency food kit. I've got one that I got from My Patriot Supplies. Little 72-hour kit, literally just slightly bigger than an MRE, weighs exactly the same thing, but it's 9 meals. 9 meals. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, for 3 straight days. I can stretch that thing to make it 4 or 5 days if I have to. Hell yes. And it's the same size and weight as an MRE. That's perfect, man. That's beautiful. Alright, so that more or less covers my 1 to 3 day bag. Again, that is, I'm going out and I'm doing the mission and I'm freaking hauling butt home. That is more or less a go bag. It's a bug out bag, so to speak. That also being said, let me point this out. Whoever your commander is and your senior NCO, it is their job to handle the logistics for you in that mission. So you shouldn't have to worry about where am I getting my water, where am I getting my food, where am I sleeping. That should already be covered. Notice how I didn't include a sleep system in that one. Why? Because chances are you're either A, going to be on the lam and running, or B, you're going to be sleeping in a truck or some building you took or something of that nature. All that is supposed to be handled by your commander. Every last ounce of it. And commanders saying, well, I'm going to take that building and we'll sleep there, is not providing shelter for your men. Because what happens when you hit more resistance than you thought and you're not able to take that building? And now you're having to rotate guys out to keep the fight on, to keep the pressure on them. And you got, all right, I'm going to have to go to half strength, take half my guys, and I got to put them somewhere to sleep. Well, now you got to take another objective to house them. And now you're splitting your force in half. So that's something you need to already have planned out ahead of time, along with the food and the water. So, my little side note tangent off. 3 to 14 day pack. Think of something like an assault pack. You might could condense it down, or excuse me, not an assault pack, but a rucksack. You might could condense it down to a mid-ruck, but you're definitely going to want a ruck of some kind. And this is not a pack you're going to be able to carry with you in and through the battle. It's just not going to happen. Well, you're going to have the same exact stuff that I mentioned before. So you're going to cover your 4 basic groups, right? Your 4 primary things. The difference is you're focusing a little bit more on your shelter because you're actually going to be deployed for a longer amount of time. So, weather dependent, I would have a sleep system. I use a Tenier Industries. That's what the military uses. It's a fantastic sleep system, one of the best ones I've ever used. The beauty of this thing is you can break it down or build it up as necessary. So, the one thing I would always have is the Gore-Tex liner, because you never know how the weather's going to shift, and the liner itself is a actual shelter because it's waterproof. Plus, it keeps you warm and keeps the wind off of you. Now they have the little green liner that goes in. It's called the patrol bag. It's a cute little guy. It's great for summertime and mess like that. You're almost always going to have that bag, those 2 things with you. The thick one that goes in the middle, the big black one, the big thick one, that's your wintertime. And yeah, if it's wintertime, I'm definitely going to put that on there. Now, one other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a field jacket, what I consider my field, a heavy, nice waterproof jacket, and I'm going to slap it to the daggone side of that pack so that when I get stationary and I'm freezing my butt off, I got something to put on. Gloves, toboggans, things, and wool socks, crap like that are going to be in that pack. I am going to have 3 days of 3 changes of clothes in that pack. So top and bottom, top and bottom, top and bottom, including underwear and socks for 3 days, and then I'm going to double my socks or maybe even triple my socks. I may go to 6 or 9 pairs of socks, because what happens when your boots get wet, man? You're going to wear them out, which is another reason why you're going to put another set of boots in the bottom of that pack. So you got a 10-pound sleep system, a 5 to 10 pound set of boots, plus all these clothes, plus a hygiene kit you now got to add in there. That's 2 to 3 pounds, toothbrush, foot powder, deodorant, freaking chapstick, crap like that. Tinactin, because you're gonna start getting athlete's feet. So Tinactin and Neosporin, whatever it is you feel like I'm gonna need. I keep Vaseline in there for hot spots when my pack starts wearing on me and mess like that, and starts rubbing a little bit of freaking masking tape does great for that, because it doesn't stick so hard on that hot spot like duct tape. When I pull it off, I'm still removing hide, but at the same time it stays there long enough and it's slick so the pack can't continue to rub a hole in my back. So a little bit of that, just a variety of other stuff that you're going to throw in your little hygiene pack, and that's going to squirrel away in your corner there, right? Okay, that's going to be in there, plus a poncho, plus probably a poncho liner. Probably, every soldier needs their whoopee, okay? I mean, anyways, you're going to put a lot of stuff in that pack. By the time you're done with it, it's going to be 50, 60 pounds of gear. I have stepped off at 70. Again, you're still going to have a way to make fire, 3 days of food, freaking possibly a Camelback, or in my case, what I've been doing is I take a canteen and a canteen cup, because if I can make fire, I can purify water by boiling it for 10 minutes. So why have I got to carry that extra weight of a Camelback and take up that much more space when I can just throw a canteen in there and a canteen cup? And a good hard quality canteen can handle hot boiling water being poured directly in it and not melt. Can't do that with a Camelback, because it'll melt the crap out of it. So I use that. That's what I have in my 3 to 14 day bag. And again, that is the logistics of that should have been handled by your senior guys, by your commander and everything, by the head shed. But that is your emergency, crap kind of thing. And obviously, if you're on the land, you're probably going to strip the weight down pretty good, pretty fast. And again, the weight's going to vary depending upon wintertime versus summertime. So you're constantly going to have a lot more weight during the winter, and you're going to need a lot more water during the summer. So during the summer, I might have to put that Camelback in there. I may just go on my back. I may just strap it to the top of the pack so that I can take it off quick, put it on my back, and go on out into battle. Because if I'm running around with a body armor on and it's 100 degrees outside, I'm going to have a Camelback on my back, because dehydration is a bitch. So, do I have Camelbacks? Absolutely. Have I slid them on top of my ruck while I'm marching? Hell yes, I have. Ask the guys that went through selection with me. That's exactly what I did, and it sucked. But that was because after a while I started sloshing. Yeah. Anyways, though, that's what I did, and it worked. Wasn't great, but it worked. So the idea every time you build these things is you need to think about the 4 fundamental things you've absolutely got to have and make sure that they're covered. Water, food, fire, shelter. Make sure those guys are covered. And then it's clothing, a lot of socks, some more socks, and even more socks because I don't have enough socks. And little other niceties that you're going to want.